Today on Pat's Car Garage, gentlemen, the project of restoring this red Jeep Grand Cherokee is officially underway. That's quite dirty. It doesn't normally have 3 wiper arms. It only has 2. Get rid of that. So yeah, I've decided to finally start working on this car. It's been a long time coming. This thing has been parked here for a couple of years, but it is finally time to begin. Of course, we cannot start working on this right away. We first have to strip the old Jeep of all the good parts it has, and then we can move them onto this one. So, a quick story on this. It is a clean body, no rust anywhere. If we kind of poke in behind there, you can see that everything is super clean. There's no rust anywhere. I don't want to get on the wet ground, but let me try and show you what it looks like underneath. Again, the frame rails are all completely clean. This is a BC car, so no rust anywhere to be seen. Apart from some little tiny surface rust right there, but as you can tell, it is super clean. Same thing back here. That is a common spot for rust to form on these cars. If I stick the camera up in there, you see again, everything is really clean. So what's broken on this car is, well, the powertrain. The engine runs fine, but the transmission is totally clapped out, and I've got no idea of the condition of anything else. However, it is a clean body. Again, everywhere you look on this car, I mean, you know, ignore the comically flat tire right there. I hope that'll still pump up and hold air. Might have to try that out a little later today. But again, down here should all be super clean. Again, you see that frame rail is in perfect condition. A little bit of surface rust there, but that we can certainly fix. And more importantly, the rockers. The rockers, I mean, I'd have to pull the plastic off to see, but, you know, given the condition of this car, I don't suspect that there's going to be any rust underneath this plastic cover. So the interior is meh, you know. Of course, it's actually quite dirty. I'm going to have to clean that still. That's broken. No worries, we can fix that. We have a whole car's worth of spare parts. This steering wheel is terrible, actually. That's worse than how I left it, but we'll find a way to make that work. Maybe pull a good steering wheel from a junkyard. We'll see. Headliner is hooped, you know, but we fixed headliners before on this channel, so nothing to be scared of. It has the bigger roof panel option, which maybe we'll do something cool with, maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, it's a Laredo, so no automatic climate control, but 242 transfer case, same as my old Jeep, so that is cool. I have 2 identical transfer cases to work with. Yeah, so look, this is this car. Now let's go talk about the plan, which of course will include pumping this tire up. Let's make our way round to the garage and see why exactly I'm retiring the old Jeep. It is honestly my fault. I got into a small accident with it. My own stupidity. Tried to pass some cars on a slippery road, skidded off the road, hit the guardrail. But that is what happens when you're stupid. Now, to be fair, I kept this Jeep on the road far longer than I should have, and we'll see exactly why. So you can tell that this wheel's pushed all the way up against that frame over here. So that is the side that hit the guardrail. Underneath there is, once it focuses, you should be able to see some amount of destruction. So everything in there is bent. There's rust holes everywhere. Yeah, this car wasn't in bad shape, actually. So, like I said, I kept it around much longer than I should have. I kept patching it and fixing it, but realistically, I should have started working on the red Jeep a long time ago. So under here we will likely see, yeah, look at that, some good old Canadian weight reduction right there. it is in quite bad shape. Now let me show you. I had worse problems down here, but oh yeah, so yeah, over there, some rust. It's actually ahead of the spot that I welded. So you see that? That's all welded patch panels right there. But of course the rust has decided to affect more of it. So not very good. Not very good. This side is not too bad, but the other side is actually far worse. So let's walk around to that and see exactly what's up. Yeah, down here. Down here, was it? Yeah. Again, some patches that I welded to fix those rust holes, but again, I just did what I could to keep this car on the road, but it is officially died of Canadian weight reduction, I believe will be the main reason for this. That exhaust pipe is knackered. I had to connect that. At some point the whole thing fell apart. Look, this car is jank, people. The doors are nice. I'm definitely going to keep the doors. This part is not very good. See, you got some more Canadian weight reduction going on down here. I still have to pull out all the goodies that I keep underneath the seat yet. Well, let's do a quick inventory of what the hell is good on this car. What do I intend on keeping? And what's getting replaced? So starting at the front, this bumper is lightly damaged. Maybe we'll just trim it for off-road purposes. But the right front is what actually impacted the barrier. The wheel took most of the hit. I deflated the tire so that I could drive it into the garage, actually. I'm going to take that wheel off and put a spare on so I can move the car around. It still moves under its own power, but again, I'm going to pull everything apart, so it's not going to do that for very much longer. So what are we keeping? I was hoping to keep this axle, but the condition of that control arm, let's give it a second to focus. Oof, she's struggling. Come on. All right, well, okay, you can kind of see that's all bent out of shape. So I'm going to assume all the... yeah, that is bent really bad. I don't know how well it looks on camera, but I can promise you that mount is completely bent out of shape. That lower control arm took the brunt of the impact for sure. Again, nobody was injured. I was with a friend at the time. Nobody was injured. Didn't hit any other cars, so it could have been a lot worse. Definitely my own stupidity caused this problem, so, you know, gotta be careful out there when the roads are slippery. But yeah, so this axle is junk now, but I do have some good pieces in it that I'm willing to keep. Maybe the gears, I'm not sure yet. But definitely the axle shafts, because I put in new axle shafts with U-joints, so all that's new. That's going to come off. And I'm going to stick some CVs in there just to be some of my old CV joints, just to be able to move it around. But anyway, let's keep doing an inventory. So all these lights are new, so I'm keeping all of these. Luckily they survived, so that's good. These are glass, actually. They're ZG headlights. So ZG is the export code of the ZJ that went to Europe. They had a better headlight housing with H4 bulbs, which are much better than 9004 bulbs that the ZJ originally came with. So of course all the lights, fog lights are good, keeping those. My spotties, gonna keep those, of course. Just, yeah, a little bit close. Condenser's new, transmission cooler, power steering cooler. These are all things that I added that I'm keeping. Under the hood, the engine. This engine runs fine. The other engine on the red Jeep works as well, but I don't know what, it needs to be rebuilt. It's much higher mileage. Oil pressure is low, but it still has oil pressure. However, this engine, the oil pressure is very healthy. Maybe just put some, you know, seals on it. The oil filter adapter leaks, the rear main seal leaks, and just fix all the stupid oil leaks on it. And at least I won't have to rebuild an engine just yet, but probably in the future I will. Any good body panels that this has, I'm going to keep. So this fender is actually in immaculate condition, no rust, so definitely keeping this fender. The doors as well might keep spares because I pulled the original doors off and I grabbed junkyard doors because they were in good condition. The worst one is the driver's door. There is just enough rust on that I'm not sure it's worth keeping, but I am at least keeping the door panel. It has a little missing chunk of rubber here, or rubber vinyl, whatever you want to call this. small missing chunk of it there, but I am keeping this panel because it is in much better shape than the panel in the red one. I will have to replace the switches because I made my own switches for electric doors. This car originally came with electric, sorry, not electric, but crank windows, and I converted it to electric with just switches that I made up. So that has to go away. The other Jeep, the red Jeep, already has electric windows, so I just need the panels and move the switch panels over. There's not much else that I can reuse from the interior. I don't think the steering wheel is compatible with the other one, so might not be able to get that to work. Same thing, it's a shame that the other Jeep doesn't have automatic headlights and the switches are different, so I won't be able to use that directly, but I want to redo this. It's fun having automatic headlights, so I want to keep that eventually. Rear view mirror, that's coming for sure. It's a electrochromic rear view mirror, so that's gonna stay. Again, so most of what we're keeping is the powertrain. This has a good transmission. It has a good-ish transfer case. Maybe needs a rebuild, but I know that it works. So the other transfer case, I don't know in what condition it's in, so I'm going to reuse this transfer case. Given that the front axle is hooped, I may not reuse this axle because the gears are different. These are 373 gears, whereas the other axle is probably 355. So either I move the gears over and the carrier from the front to the other axle, or I just rebuild those axles a second time. And to make a long story short, we're keeping some body panels as spares if they don't have any rust. The driver's door probably not, but the other 3 doors are fine, so those probably yes. And then I'm gonna, once I pull all the good parts off of this Jeep, I'm just gonna park it in the backyard where the red Jeep is now, and I'm just gonna keep it for spares, I suppose, because, you know, there's no point in getting rid of this car until the other one's rebuilt. In the rear, the trunk situation, the wiper motor's good, so I'm gonna be keeping the wiper motor in case the other one is broken. I had to replace it. Actually, the struts are good. I might as well reuse those. This seal is brand new, so at the very least, I'm gonna keep this seal, even if the other seal on the other Jeep is good, just because this is in really nice shape. Nice WeatherTech, not sponsored, but they had the biggest one, so that if you have an SUV and you have carpet in the back, slap a WeatherTech in the back. It makes you feel way less bad about, you know, stuffing it full of crap, I suppose. So close that for now. From the interior, I forgot to mention, I will be pulling the seats out. Probably not to reuse. By the way, there's a towel on there because the windshield actually leaks, because this whole car is a rusty shit box. So the windshield leaks, but that's why there's a towel there, so I didn't get my ass wet pulling this into the garage. Yeah, I'll keep the seats just as seats for the garage, because never mind the mess back there. I need to clean all that up still, but there's no place to sit here, so we need to solve that. So yeah, I'm very excited to start this project. I wish I could have started it earlier, but you know, life sort of gets in the way, right? But hey, it's better late than never, so the next few videos definitely will be me parting this car into whatever good is left of it, so you can certainly expect that to be coming up shortly. And then we'll see. You know, as soon as this is ready, I'll start putting all the good parts back into the red Jeep. So yeah, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of this project coming very, very soon.